All right, time for another tool drawer video. We'll do the second drawer in my toolbox here. It's my wrench drawer. Just wanted to say real quick though, before I get too started here, when I did this drawer, so all my stuff is metric. So that is all metric stuff you're looking at. So everything in my toolbox is all metric. I used to have SAE, and well, I took it all out of my toolbox years ago for a particular reason and a different story for a different day. Alrighty, so my wrenches, these are all Snap-on Flink Drive Plus. These are Matco ratcheting. Another little, found this guy in a junkyard when I was out pulling parts one day, or pulling safe parts. I was like, oh, right on. So a little ratcheting 12, open end, box end, and then I've got my line wrenches, or what they call flare nut wrenches. These are still some S&Ks from way back in the day, and a little offset 10 mil, 11 mil. I really only use the 11 mil, or excuse me, the 10 mil. And this is pretty much to get valve covers on Subarus. Just a line wrench that doesn't fit, and then I have two crescent wrench and then a metric crescent wrench, because see, it says Toyota, so it's got to be, that means it's metric, right? Because it's a Japanese crescent wrench. I got some stubbies up here, little tiny stubbies. Had these for, man, over 20 years. I bought these in tech school. They're S&Ks. Hardly use them, but they're like insurance. You're glad you have it when you need it. And then, of course, my torque wrenches. This is the 3/8. It's a digital. It does, torque plus angle. And then I've got the bigger one, which is my 1/2 inch. Right there. And I love these. These are great. I'll talk about those here in a minute. So let me tell you a wrench story. Oh, and then I've got 0-degree offsets right here. Just grab them so you can kind of see. So they're 0-degree offset, Snap-on, 17 on one side, 19, so on and so forth, 15, 16, 18, 20, da da da. And then the smaller ones over there. So that's kind of what makes up my wrench drawer. It's kind of all I really needed. What would I like to change and improve? I would like to swap these out for a different style of shorties, like Snap-ons. And I would like to swap these out for Snap-ons as well. And here's why. When I first started turning wrenches, I bought S&K tools out of tech school. And there's nothing wrong with S&K, but here's the experience I had with their wrenches. Their wrenches are super thick, and they didn't get into all the tight spaces that I was trying to get into. I was working for Nissan at the time, and they always also stripped. They would round the heads off of fasteners. It seemed like either on the box end side or the open end side, and most of the time I couldn't get the box end side on things when I was trying to, so I was stuck with trying to use this, and they would round the fasteners off. So I think the first set of quote-unquote big truck wrenches I bought were these Matco wrenches, and I was like, well, the double box will work. They ratchet on one side, and you can flip them over, and then you go the other way. So I bought these one week, and they're much thinner. They had a lower profile, and I was like, oh, I'll just put the box end on any fastener I wanted, and those worked great. And then one day I was struggling because I couldn't get a box end on that. And back then, the Snap-on dealer that came to the shop every day, Tom Zollers, I actually think he's no longer living, so rest in peace there, Tom. He was a great Snap-on salesman, and he came up to me and says, hey, you look like you're struggling. And I was like, yeah, I really am. And he's like, he brought this the 8 mil, is it 8? 7 mil to 19 mil, these Flank Drive Plus wrenches over to my my toolbox. He's like, try those for a week, see what you like. If you don't like them, I won't make you buy them. And that was in 2003, I believe. And I fell in love with them. And I told myself from there on out, I'm only buying Snap-on Flank Drive Plus wrenches, or just Snap-on wrenches in general. The wrenches are great. I really like the Snap-on wrenches. You can buy other things in different brands, especially with Amazon out there, and that's fine. But for me, I committed to buying only Snap-on wrenches, and so of course I've kind of built up my wrench set from there. You know, I went and got a 21 and a 22, and then I got the 0 degrees, and I guess it's kind of ended there, always with the intent of replacing those and replacing these. But it's hard to justify buying something that you don't use all the time, but at the same time, when you do use them, you wish they were in a different brand. So I think those are going to be the next ones all these years later that I swap out. Oh, I lied. Look, I got some SAE. Oh, where's some SAE stuff? Here we go. Yeah, so I got some SAE in the lines, and that's just because sometimes they cross over in when it comes to taking off, you know, tranny lines and stuff like that. But I hardly ever use these anymore. I did a lot when I was working for Nissan Isuzu. Different story, different day. So that's kind of my wrench story on why it is that I decided to go with Snap-on Flank Drive Plus wrenches. And I highly recommend the Flank Drive Plus. Of course, they make, I think Carlisle makes a really good brand that sort of looks like this, but those guys right there, see those? Focus. There we go. That little fluting just, man, it just makes all the difference in the world. And they fit so nice, and they're the right length and the right width, or as far as thickness goes in your hand and being able to reach on the fasteners. I love them. The next thing I love is these torque wrenches. I'll just pull the 3/8 out here real quick, and we'll turn it on. So you turn it on, and see it says torque zeroing and angle zeroing. So as you can see, it looks like I had it set up for when I tightening down. That's a Volvo axle nut or axle bolt torque. You torque it to 35 Newton meters, and then it angles, and then an angle of 90 degrees. And you can change all that in there. You can change the foot pounds, you can change the, you know, foot pounds, Newton meters, kilonewton meters, inch pounds, so on and so forth. And then you can also change the angles. And it's great because I love it because you can ratchet these things. It remembers the ratchet or the torque. So if you get a swing, let's say you do a swing and that was only 10 foot-pounds, and then you bring it back up, it remembers that, and then it continues to go. And the same with angle. So you say you hit that 35 Newton meters, and then you ratchet again, and you only got like 30 degrees out of it, and then you swing it back up, it'll remember that 30 and keep going. So super practical, especially for doing head bolts, which is, you know, I use the big Mamma Jamma. This is 0 to, I want to say 200 foot-pounds, and this one is 20 to 350 foot-pounds, I do believe, for the 1/2 inch. Oh, you turkey bird. Yeah, I do believe it's something like that, but they're not cheap. They're really expensive for a torque wrench. I mean, I think I paid about $500 a piece for them. So that's, you know, $1,000 just in torque wrenches. But what they are capable of and what they do is phenomenal. And I will never go back to click style torque wrenches again, especially because I can grab, and I'll worry about that later, I can grab angle off of it as well, without having to put an angle gauge or any of that BS on it that we used to back in the day. So there you go. There's my wrench drawer. Second drawer in the box. So yeah, next time maybe we'll do this drawer. Ooh, uh-oh, little sneak peek. All right, guys, if you like this video, click the like and subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. I promise I'll be making more videos besides just tool drawer and tool review stuff. There's more things coming. Talk to you guys later. Get dirty, get her done, and go do something.